Hey guys, it's Retro Vortex, and I couldn't think of an intro, so here goes Hollow Knight lore out of context. So, there's this worm, right? The worm is digging all in the dirt and stuff. He's just having a fun worm time, just going around. He has like time powers and stuff, just like any worm, that you just dig out of the ground. Don't mess with worms, guys. But this worm, he's really special. He's got an egg inside him. And one day, he has to stop himself to put the egg out. So he stops himself in this little place, and the fork comes out of the egg. You know when you eat an egg, and you put the fork in the egg? Well, this is the opposite. The fork came out of the egg, and the fork was just a guy. And this fork noticed this little world. There was a lot of stuff in this world. He kind of just slept around. He slept with a tree. He slept with a beast. I don't even know. This man was crazy. Just going around town, But after that, him and the beast had this little horn. It was a girl, so they called it a hornet. And this horn kind of did her thing, Just like went around slapping stuff with a sword. And then there was this big moth that had light powers. You know how the worm had time powers? Well, apparently moths have time powers, or light powers. So these light powers, they just infect everybody with light, because they're like, don't like light apparently. They like the empty stuff. So they go, and they get infected by the light. But the king, the fork is like, no, that's bad. I'm going to give you a brain, because I can fork out brains. So that's what the fork does. He goes and puts brains in everybody, because that's what forks do. And after that, the fork was like, I need to protect my brains that I made for these guys. So he put some guys to sleep, 3 different guys. One of them, one he made the horn with, and they went to sleep. And he was like, oh no, we gotta put the light in something. And they're like, what do we put the light in? And he's like, I don't know. What if we get an empty shell? And they're like, that sounds like I could fit light in it. And then it worked. They made a lot of empty shells, and they didn't work, but one eventually was empty. Then they figured out it wasn't empty. How do you even fail that? You can just look inside. It's not that hard. But oh well, that's not my problem. Then the light, it got out of the empty, because it wasn't empty. So after that, everything got infected again. And then you're this little empty guy, who's actually empty, probably, and just goes and gets the light back in it. Someone last video asked if I could explain the Zote lore, and Zote is just a little guy, and he goes around with his wooden stick, most powerful guy in the universe. He's just a Zote, the Zote.